And they were presumably all, like, drinking, watching football, having beers, whatever. But the guy woke up the next day, who lived in the house, and, like, the cars for the visitors who had been over were still parked out front. He received multiple, like, calls and texts from, like, significant others and or family members from these dudes who were like, hey, what's his, this, or whatever, I don't know their names, but, hey, guy didn't come home last night. He was over at your place, right? Like, did you see him? You know where he's at? Is he okay? And the dude did not answer a call or respond to a text. He didn't do anything. And the three dudes were found frozen to death in his backyard. Mm-hmm. Like on his back patio type thing. It's super weird.
Quite bizarre. And yeah, that's a pretty accurate summary from what I have. So there were three men that were found dead on the 9th of January. And there's a little bit of a timeline thing to get straight here. On January 7th, there was the event. Seeing the game, friends are over. There were 4 friends at his home. So it's the person whose home it was and 4 friends.
So there's an extra person who didn't die who was there.
The homeowner?
No. The guy who lived there and someone else.
Yes. Okay. There's 5 total people.
Yes, 3 of which are dead. Okay.
One of which is a homeowner. They watched, according to this, they watched the football game on television, said goodbye to them, the host, and then went to sleep. And then 3 of those men died in the home's backyard in freezing weather without him even realizing it. And their bodies were found days later by someone other than the homeowner.
Because not look at his backyard very often.
They had no obvious injuries, right? Apparently, it seems like they...
Oye, lo que necesites lo conseguiré. Quiero hacerlo. Ok. Estoy bien. Vamos.
Just froze to death, which is also weird, because they clearly were leaving the house, planning on driving home, or at the very least, were conscious enough to walk out of the house in some way. Yeah, I don't know. This dude really, I mean, look, I'm not going to judge a person. I don't always, check the yard around my house every day, but I do feel like the thing that gets me is, I know part of the story is, their cars were out there, right? If I had people over, and then I looked out, and I was like... Ashley Scott, Missouri. Hey, all those cars are still, right in front of my house, parked on the street, or in my driveway, or whatever. I might have a peek. I might be curious.
So he missed calls, he missed direct messages, he missed people coming over looking, he didn't see the bodies, he didn't see their... It took 3 days of them being dead in his backyard and be like, oh, that's weird. And that was only when police showed up.
And then he didn't even find them. Someone else found them, and then the police came.
This would be the most oblivious person in the whole world.
I don't know. There's parts of my house that I don't see on a daily basis just because I don't go out that way. And it's totally possible. But here's where it gets really strange. Because, yes, these circumstances are all the same. But you could hand wave the cars because they were parked on the street. They were not parked in the driveway. And you could say, like, they were drinking. Maybe they got an Uber to get home because they wanted to be responsible. And I could see that happening. And I wouldn't think too much about it, especially if you're a homebody. But here's where things get a little strange, right? He went to bed, wished his friends a good night. The fourth guest lingered, was still around when the homeowner went to bed, according to the story of the homeowner. And the fourth guest said, name not publicly released, but has said that they were still conscious when he left Willis's home. Very strange phrasing that they were still conscious while he was still home, but he insisted that he was not the last person to see them alive.
What does that mean?
It's very strange, right? So for someone to freeze overnight, if you're outside in even like not freezing temperatures, you can die of hypothermia if you're exposed and whatever. If you happen to like pass out in the cold, there's a chance you could not wake up. That's entirely possible, depending on like lots of drinking or things like that. But it's just very strange that this person would. There's three people. Why would all of them fall asleep at the exact same time?
Yeah.
Aquí vamos. Me equivoqué. Resulta que sí sabes a dónde vas.
No, that was the thing for me is like, because I could imagine a lot of different scenarios where maybe these guys were like, oh, I can stay out here longer than you in the cold. You were like, whatever, guys are stupid. I can totally see something like that happening. But they would not all experience the hypothermia in the same way. And as soon as the first guy like passes out, you feel hypothermia. It doesn't feel good. It causes you to shiver. It starts to become incredibly painful and or uncomfortable. Like as soon as the first guy starts to experience it, I feel like there'd be a point, or even the second guy. I feel like there's a point where one of the three is still conscious and is like, hey, maybe we need an ambulance or to go inside.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, Roger's dead, just you and me now, Tim.
Yeah. That's weird.
There's even more details that like just make it a little bit stranger. It's just tiny things. So when the bodies were found, it wasn't found by the police at first. So one of the people's fiancés broke into the homeowner's basement and apparently looked through the house in the basement, then went out to the back porch and saw one of the friends, one of their bodies. They contacted the police, and police came out, and after a search, they found the two other bodies. I don't know if they were in the same place, but they were separate. So one was away from two. It's just strange. There's no signs of violence. There's a statement here that says they found no obvious signs of violence at or near the home.
It feels like it has to be drugged or drugged or something. It's wild. Everything about this is wild and confusing and makes no sense.
And that's the kind of thing. The other people are saying, like, there's this.
Who goes to bed while there's still friends over your house? Like,
I mean, I can understand that if you.
No, I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah, like, I gotta get up early, but I'm not kicking you guys out.
Yeah, especially, I've had roommates and stuff, right, where it's like, there's a whole party, but I got work in the morning, or whatever. Yeah, like.
Okay, alright, that's weird to me, but that's normal, okay.
If it's just friends over, it's not like you have strangers in your house that you need to watch or something. If you're just friends over, I could totally see that being possible. Not a thing that happens a lot, but whatever. Maybe it happens.
Having earbuds in and therefore missing all of your phones and calls or texts and calls and knocks on the door and everything else.
I believe there was, at the very least, the one person broke into the house and she eventually discovered the first body, right? But, like, even someone who despises their phone, that's a long time to go without realizing, oh, I've had like 50 messages and missed calls. Like, I don't know what's going on. That's a long stretch.
Willis did not see one direct message to send him on social media. Failed to notice when a couple of people came over looking at the men because they wore earphones and kept the locked fan on while sleeping.
I see.